Liberating your expression is not about oversharing, overventing, having the perfect comeback answer ready, rehearsing what you're gonna say for 3 hours. It's about no longer lying to yourself first. So imagine this for a second. A hard throat comes up your throat, and instead of swallowing it and keeping it in, you let it flow, and it just flows out with ease out of your body, and you fully speak your truth and express yourself. That's what we're going to move toward today. And if you haven't watched part 1, I'm gonna put the link down below. Go watch the first video I made about the importance of expressing yourself. And today we're going to focus on how to liberate your voice, liberate that expression. So today I want to cover 4 different practices that you can start doing today to help you unlock your throat, express yourself, liberate your expression. The first practice is developing deeper awareness. I know you hear me say that all the time, but it's so important. It's the foundation of everything. If you're not aware of something, there's no up level to have. You're not even aware of it, right? So developing deeper awareness starts with slowing down, like really slowing down, taking time to notice the little things, the subtle shift in emotions in your body, the subtle energetic shift. You have to slow down in order to notice. If you're rushing through your day and you're not paying attention, it's as simple as this: paying attention to how you feel, to how your body reacts, to how others react around you. There's so much data in your own lived experience. If you're rushing through it and you're not paying attention and you're not being aware of what's happening, you're missing out on key information. So taking time to breathe, slowing down, noticing, and being honest with yourself. You have to first have that honesty with yourself about what you're feeling and what you're experiencing in your own lived experience. How do you feel? It starts with understanding your own emotions. If you're not even understanding your own emotions, how do you expect others to understand you? You can only understand others to the level you understand yourself in terms of emotional awareness, emotional intimacy. So developing deeper awareness with your own emotions is key in this process. And when you develop that deep intimacy with yourself, you are less influenced by others' opinion, what they think about you, what they think you should do. It's like all the noise in the outside world will just melt away because you're feeling so intimate with yourself, your own energy, your own emotion, your own truth. You won't care about what others are thinking. And sometimes there's moments where we're triggered, right? Something happens and our pattern is to react, protect ourselves, but it's as simple as slowing down the moment. You know the superheroes that have superpowers of slowing down time? It's like you do that in your own mind. You slow down the time and you take time to breathe and notice your own pattern. And it might be hard at first, but over time, just taking the time to slow down, breathe, notice can have a profound impact on the level of awareness you bring to your daily life, to the small moments where you recognize a pattern and you have this breakthrough moment about yourself. And the goal here, yes, it's to be our most radiant self. It's to stand in your power. Because to feel liberated in your expression, you have to stand in your power. If you're like this, very flimsy, and as soon as the wind blows, you fall, that's not standing in your power. Like, I want you to imagine your legs, your toes going into the earth, and you're so grounded and rooted in yourself that the wind can blow, projections of people, opinions of people, it's noise, it's the weather, but you're there, you're standing strong in your power. That's the vision. That's at least my vision. Like, I want to live a life where I stand in my power and I feel like grounded and unshakable in my own truth. I want to live this unapologetic, I always have trouble saying this in English, this unapologetic life. That's my vision. Doesn't have to be yours, you define yours, but I'm speaking from this vision of like standing in your power and being solid in yourself, what you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself. Liberating our expression requires us, yes, to stand in our power and to be courageous. We need to have a lot of courage to fully speak our truth when it's terribly uncomfortable and hard and scary. We need to be able to hold that sensation in our body, and it's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's like, gut-wrenching, right? But when we have a vision of what we want to embody and what's our next level and what's this 5-year future version of myself, how does she look like? How does she walk? How does she embodies herself every day? The more you connect to your goal, that future version of yourself, the more you will feel inspired and full of courage to right now speak through the discomfort and live this short-term pain that is very uncomfortable in order to fully speak your truth. It's the same when you do a detox. Sure, it's not the most pleasant thing in the world to do a juice fast, for instance, but you move through the challenging discomfort of doing your detox because you envision this version of yourself that has 50% more vitality in her body and energy, right? You feel into that goal, and that goal, that vibration you're tuning into is what's making you motivated to keep going in your detox, right? You can apply that to having a business, to anything, to challenging moments in a marriage, like anything. Tuning into that future vision will always be more helpful. Now, the second practice is deeper embodiment. Coming back to how you feel in your body, not how you think about your body, really how you're feeling in your body, the depth of the sensation, the awareness of how you feel in your body. There's so many ways to develop deeper embodiment. You can check out a video I did about feminine magnetism a couple weeks ago. I'll link the video down below. There's definitely some great tips into that one. I would say developing deeper embodiment is multifaceted, but doing some embodiment practices on my own journey have been incredibly rewarding. Like, I've seen so many results from doing embodiment practices. It's like the low-hanging fruit of the tree, those embodiment practices. And I have so many embodiment practices I could share with you that I've done for clients and everything, but obviously I can't share everything in this video. I do have my Let Softness Open You practice in the 4 email series down below. That's a great one. There's many other ones. I'm thinking in a future community I can share all of them in there. It would be the most helpful, I think. But anything from womb descent, from breath work, from voice activation, there's so many of them. Embodiment practices in general will help you drop into your body, your feeling, because we've been raised in the world where we're constantly in our head, thinking, constantly in the mind. The schools we've been to, we've been trained to be very much in our head all the time. So it took me years of practicing, of meditating, of one-on-one sessions, of retreats, plant medicine, to really experience dropping into my body on a daily basis and checking in with my body, which I feel now I live my days a lot in my body because I have practiced and developed deeper awareness around the sensations that I feel in my body. You know, I've always wanted to have a community space where you keep going to for like meditation, embodiment practices, and all the things you need to do on a regular basis to deepen your awareness, your embodiment, your spiritual growth, feel more connected to your feminine energy. And I'm really pondering with creating a community. So if that's something you would be interested in, please leave a comment down below what you would love to see in that community. Would love to know. So practice number 3 is unlocking your throat. This practice is very physical. Let me explain. I used to be so stuck in my throat. I would literally feel like a ball in my throat and like something like physically blocking my voice and my expression. And I'm actually going to insert some videos here because you would see night and day with me like 5 years ago compared to now, how much I've unlocked my throat. And something that have been some of the most powerful thing I've done to unlock my voice in my throat is actually I did two things. I hired a singing coach. I had never sang a song in my life. I always told myself I don't have a good voice. I'm not a singer. I was more of a comedian actor in high school. I was not a singer. And in a retreat in Turkey, Jordan showed up. And on top of a mountain in Cappadocia, she did something with my throat energetically. And I felt something unlocked, like literally, physically, energetically. And I felt the call to work with her. And I bought a couple sessions and I worked with her at singing, doing some exercises around singing, vocal exercises to physically expand. Ka-ka, ka-ka. Ka-ka. Time to let it shine. Time to let it shine. There's a power in projecting your voice, right? Like I'm speaking right now in like regular speech, but I can speak like this and scream out loud and be loud and take space, cause why the fuck not, right? And we never do that. Like not anymore, you know? We used to dance around a fire every night and sing. It's so liberating. It was so cleansing to our chakras to sing around a fire with drums every night. The second thing I did is I got myself a drum like this. It's a beautiful drum made from wapiti. I think it's wapiti skin. It's made by a Native American community here in Quebec. And I love this drum. First, the vibration is extremely healing. If you've heard about sound healing, the vibration that instrument makes resonates in your body, and our bodies are like 90% water, right? So it helps harmonize the cells in our bodies. So that's one benefit when we play an instrument. And the other one with the drum is, you know, when you sing, I'm not great at remembering your lyrics. I'm not like, I don't know, the type to sing a Taylor Swift song. It's just not me. It's just not me. But sometimes I just want to sing, make sounds really. Make sounds to just, you know, like, like get the gunk out of my throat, energetically, physically. So I'll grab my drum and like, whatever the sound you want to make. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to make sense. You're alone in your living room. Just go wild. Go loud, go wild. Sing your heart out. You might be surprised. You might start crying. You might start shaking. You might start feeling anger and banging the drum. Go for it. We're moving energy here. We're like unlocking that throat. Like there's no rules. You just go for it, you know? If you feel for a while like doing it twice a day, you do it twice a day. If then you forget about it for 3 months, you forget about it for 3 months. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a minute I've done it because I haven't felt the need. And that's the beauty of all these how-tos and prime embodiment practices and tools. They're in your toolbox. You experience them, you integrate them, you build a relationship with them. And whenever you feel like you don't need it for a while, you don't need it. And maybe in 3 years, you'll be like, wow, I really need a reminder. Let me grab this thing again and do it every day for 3 weeks, you know? You develop this sense of, I'm in charge of my expression, I'm in charge of my power, I'm in charge of my own embodiment, and I have all these tools in my toolbox available to me to really step into my power and up-level myself. I did the drum and the singing lesson, right? And in the singing lessons, there's two very simple vocal practices that Jordan showed me. And she's a professional singer. She went to like Berkeley School of Music and stuff like that. And she was telling me people do this before getting on stage to warm up the voice. Doesn't have to be only for Broadway, singers. You can do it in your living room too, because why not? You're a queen, right? You're a queen. So one of the practices is kaka. You make like a bo. Like I love thinking I have a potato in my mouth, and you project. You want to project here. We're not being small and dim, we're like projecting our voice. Ka-ka, 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 ka-ka. And you can keep going like this, and you will see it's like making space in your throat. And it's feeling really good. And if you're in a place where you feel really suppressed, might be very uncomfortable. You might have even some mucus coming out, but keep doing it. Practice doing this. And the other practice we would do is the siren. Pardon my voice here. This might not be the most pleasant thing to hear. Probably when you do it, at first your voice is going to break. And I can tell now my voice is going to break. Okay, so siren, right? Like a firefighter truck. Ooh. You get it? You can do it multiple times like this. And if you notice, the first time my voice did break, the second time, maybe it did a little, but not so much, it's more solid. If you do it 10 times in a row, you're gonna feel a major difference between the first one you did and the 10 times you did. If you do the kaka and the siren for like 10 minutes, I'm telling you, if you go grab your karaoke after and you try singing a song, it's gonna be a major difference in how you're projecting your voice, right? So if you're struggling with speaking your truth, your expression, these exercises and practices, if you wanna do them right before the moment, they really help to I literally feel like it clears up some mucus in my throat, you know what I mean? Like, it was so helpful in my journey, so I'm really happy to share those little tricks with you today. And thank you, Jordan, for all your help. You were such a gift to me in my life when I tried to liberate my voice. Practice number 4 is speaking from your heart instead of your mind. This is so important, and it sounds very simple, but bear with me here. Even to this day, I really don't do this all the time, and it's still something I'm working on, especially in the moments where you're stressed and anxious and scared. It's so easy to speak from the mind. I used to be so disconnected from my emotional body, from my heart. I come a long way, you guys. I come from an ocean away to where I stand today in terms of heart connection and embodiment. It was a long, complicated, hard journey for myself. And that's why I'm here, because it doesn't have to be so hard. And I want to make it easier for people to have this type of transformation. So speaking from the heart, we live in a world where, as I was saying, we're so much in the mind all the time, and we've been trained and conditioned to think. I went to McGill University, studied business and finance, and it was so much in the mind, the head was hurting. That's how much my body was hurting. My feminine was starving for feeling and emotion and being in my heart, right? I didn't know better at the time. I had no idea what feminine energy is, really. But learning to really speak from your heart and slowing down. And when you want to speak something, let's take the example of your mom. You want to speak something really deep from the heart to your mom. And I guess this would be harder if you have a harder relationship, more difficult with your mother. You know, when people at first were telling me like, Laurence, speak from the heart, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Speak from the heart. Like, I'm speaking what I'm feeling. Like, I didn't get it. I really did not get it. It took me years of people trying to help me for me to get it, you know, and my ex-partner to like tell me how it was triggering and hard for him when I was not speaking from my heart. And I think as a woman, it's one of your superpower to be vulnerable and speak from your heart. You can get your man to do almost anything for you when you really speak from your heart and you be vulnerable. And be graceful with yourself. Like, you might not get it the first time and it's totally okay. Practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. If every time you express yourself, you bring your awareness from your mind to your heart and you practice, over time you will get better. It's just the laws of physics. You will just get better over time. That's it. So let's do an example together. If I want to speak, let's say there's Valentine's Day coming up and I want to express to my partner. If I speak from my mind, it would look like, my love, I would love for you to make some effort this year to organize a Valentine's Day dinner. I would like to go to this restaurant and I would love if we could do this. I would really like if you could make an effort this year to organize something more substantial, because last year you really didn't put any effort into it. Okay, there was little complaining in there, but you get the sense. Do you think the man is gonna feel inspired to do something when you express yourself that way? Probably not. He'd probably be triggered and pissed off about what you just asked. So now, the same situation. You take a little grain of sand. This helps to deepen the awareness. I love taking the grain of sand. And you drop the awareness in your heart. And you take a deep breath. And sure, you can practice this by yourself in front of the mirror before, if it's easier, you know, step by step. And instead you say, my love, it would feel so good to me if we would spend some quality time together for Valentine's Day. When you put some effort into organizing something, it makes me feel so loved and cherished and adored, and then I want to give it all to you, and I really would love us to have a very special night together. Much better, right? Much more like, how do you think he's gonna react now? Like, you will be received so much better, right? Because you spoke from the heart. Okay, this was a very simple Valentine's Day example, but you get it, you get it. And this can apply to your partner, your brother, your father, to a corporate conversation with your employee even. When we speak from the heart, it lands differently. It has a softer, more compassionate vibe. It's more vulnerable. The feeling is openness instead of tension, rigidity, closeness. You know what I mean? And now, bonus practice number 6 is the throat oil ritual. So you know how much I love my essential oils. They're good for so many things, like on the emotional, energetic layer, physical layer. Like, you can use them to so many purposes. And if you want to liberate your expression, express yourself more, you can use just one essential oil if you want. Like, you could use spearmint. Spearmint is really good for talking, being in your own flow when you talk. So you could take a little spearmint essential oil and rub it on your throat. Always with the intention. When you use the essential oil, you tune into your intention, you rub it on your throat. You can use a little carrier oil like almond oil, coconut oil, and you rub, you know, and you can spend 5 minutes rubbing it, smelling it, like really connecting to the oil. You can do that before important moments where you want to express yourself. And what I love doing, why not combine them if you can? So I love making little roll-ons like this. You put like this amount of essential oils, and then you put some fractionated coconut oil in the rest of it, and you have a beautiful roll-on for whatever purpose you want. So for expression, for this specific purpose, I have a recipe here that I would make, which is the spearmint. So I would put like 8 drops of spearmint. I would put 8 drops too of wild orange. Wild orange is great for clarity, abundance, creativity too. Orange, sacral chakra, creativity. So spearmint, wild orange, 8 drops to 4 drops of magnolia. Magnolia is great for heart connection, wisdom, deepening, like depth, wisdom, heart connection. That's magnolia. Then you could do lavender, 4 drops of lavender. Lavender is great for softness. So in terms of expression, it's expression with softness. So if you feel like you have too much softness, well, maybe skip that one. Of course, you adapt these roll-on to whatever your situation is, right? This is like a general roll-on. I'll put the recipe in the description box below. Another one you can add is 2 drops of frankincense. Frankincense, it's good to add to almost everything. It enhances the potency of the other oils. It's a big solid tree, the frankincense. It's like holding the structure. It's protecting. So I would do 8 spearmint, 8 wild orange, 4 magnolia, 4 lavender, 2 frankincense. That would be like my recipe. And then whenever you feel like it, you use it every day and you literally oil massage your throat. You know what I mean? So now don't feel like you need to incorporate all of these practices in your life. Tomorrow you can take your time. This is not a to-do list. This is not a checklist. Start with one, experiment, integrate it for a week, and then when you feel ready, you can try another one, see which one resonates the best. For sure, some practices will click more than others. We're all different. So take your time with this. Integrate this slowly. This journey of liberating your expression, it's not a race. It's more about depth and feeling and awareness than going fast, you know? And remember what we talked about in part 1. As you practice this, your frequency will shift. And as your frequency shift, what you experience of life, what you attract of life will also shift. You are so much more powerful than you have let yourself believe you are. Your voice was never meant to stay quiet, to be edited, to be swallowed up. Your voice is meant to be this engine of energy, and let the energy flow from your heart to your throat, to your womb, to your soul. It's a cycle of energy, and we don't want it blocked or suppressed. So I'm wishing you the absolute best liberating breakthrough in your voice, and let me know in the comments like what's been resonating, what do you plan on practicing, what do you want to integrate. Let me know. I would love to know.